What's up, everybody? Gibson's Lawn Service checking back in. Look, I want to have a discussion with y'all on something. Look, I cut my first property this morning at 6 a.m. 6 a.m. the blaze was turning. At 6 a.m. the blaze was turning. Some people feel like, man, that's too early. You see, it depends on who you asking that to. Is that too early? I'm going to give you an example. I'm gonna tell you how my day starts. Now that my kids are in school, I get up at 4 a.m. from Monday through Friday, and I get my kids up at 5 a.m. See, my day starts at 4 a.m. Reason being, I want my alone time with the Lord. I want to be able to pray and read my Bible. Well, this morning I didn't read my Bible this morning. It was more of a calling out to God with some personal things I'm dealing with. I mean, I'm calling out to God, hey man, you know, this, and this, and I'm quoting scriptures, and it was more of a conversation this morning, more than of a study, because there's some things that was on my heart that I needed to get off my heart, and I feel like venting to the Lord. So then I got my kids up at 5. One child wanted waffles, the other child didn't want nothing. The other child wanted to watch TV. So hey, I got them up, got them ready, I'm out the door, boom. Boom, I'm gone. 5:30, I hit the door. Grab me some ice, pull up to my first property, 6:02. Blaze was turning at 6:05. I was 5 minutes late. I wanted the blaze turning at 6, but hey, what can you do? So then I'm headed to my next property. And some of you will be like, well, man, bro, it's too early to be cutting grass. Depends on who you asking. The man that got 5 yards to cut today, that's not too early. The man that got 17 yards to cut today, solo guy, that's not too early. Well, man, what about the neighbors? What about the homeowner? Homeowner was not at home. See, if you have a blue-collar worker, a typical blue-collar worker is already clocked in and starting work at 6 a.m. The other people, like the office workers, they're leaving their house at 7:30 so they can be to work at 8. So everybody's already up at 6. It's you lazy jokers that's not up at 6 a.m. It's you lazy jokers that's still laying in the bed at 6. Now, if a neighbor would have came out at 6 a.m. and said, hey man, that's too early to be cutting grass. Only thing I would have said was, okay, sorry about that. And then next week I would have done the same thing. It's not so much as, man, that's disrespectful. It's not, because you don't know my situation. Now, the people yard I was cutting by, they live in a, man, I already know the people yard I was cutting by, this is a man, this every bit a $500,000 house, if not more. So those people was already up. Matter of fact, the guy was outside letting his dog use the bathroom before I even dropped the gate. He probably thought in his mind, this man so is starting early. Or he probably thought, man, that man's starting early, man. I ain't never seen a lawn guy start that early. That guy going places. I'm not gonna stop a man from starting work early. I'd rather let a man work early than stop a man from breaking in my house at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Everybody grind level isn't the same. I'm gonna say it again. Everybody grind level is not the same. If a man is diligent in business, he will stand before kings and not mean men. The Lord see me being diligent, getting up Monday through Friday to go provide for my family, and I'm starting work at 6 a.m. Surely he's going to give me an edge over the competition because I'm one of his. Because I'm not being lazy. I'm trying to be a good steward with what he's blessed me with. See, I notice a lot of you Christians are lazy. That's what I see from a lot of you Christians. You're lazy and you want handouts. You got sorry Christian men and you got sorry Christian women. The sorry Christian men, they lazy. They only want to work one job and they over doggone weight. If a woman become overweight, she done pushed out 3 and 4 and 5 kids. That's normal. If your woman is overweight, if she done pushed out that many kids, that's normal. I'm talking about you sorry men. You work one job and it's not enough, and then you send your woman out there to the house to go to work. Who raising your kids, man? Who raising your kids? A lot of you Christian men are sorry. Y'all are not applying biblical principles to your life. You're not. You're so sorry, and it's ridiculous, and it's pathetic. And I can't stand some of y'all. I don't even want to look you in your face and talk to you, because a lot of y'all full of crap. Not all y'all, but the majority of y'all. You're living in poverty and brokenness because you refuse to change. How can a man that don't serve God, have $1 million? And you telling me I serve God and I don't have $1 million? Well, it's not about the $1 million. It's about applying yourself. Think about it. You got lost men out here that is thriving. And you got Christian men that's content with nothing. Think about it like this. You have missionaries in the mission fields that can't be in the States and work. The jobs overseas, they're not paying enough. But God has called them to the mission field to preach the gospel. And I'm going to do everything I can on my end. I'm going to pay all my bills on my end, make sure my family got what they need. But Lord, I really can't take from my pot. My pot, I got to pay my bills. I got to live. I'm giving you 10% out of this pot. I really don't have no extra. Create a YouTube channel. All the money from the YouTube channel, send it to the missionary. Well, man, I kind of need that too. Don't worry about it. Whatever you send to the mission fields, I'm going to double it and put it back in your pocket. That's what's been happening since I've decided to send all of my money to the missionaries. That's what's been happening. Every time I send a penny over there to the mission fields, he double it and give it right back. You can't explain it. You cannot explain it. And look, it's not over for the women. For the women. For you Christian women. I just got done listening to Miles Monroe. He said, this is what he said. He said, if you at the house, sending your kids off to school, taking care of it, did what he said in a nutshell. You got a stove, an oven in your house. He said this. I don't agree with this. I don't agree with this part. He said you got a stove and an oven in your house that you only use on 1 day a week. My wife cooked about 4 days a week. She cooked about 4 or 5. I say, 4 or 5 days a week. He said you got an oven in your house that you're using once a week. He said you can get you some flour, water. He said you can be baking cookies and baking cakes and have you a factory in your house selling cookies and cakes and making some stream of income. The Bible teaches these things, man. You got a sewing machine in your house, you can sew clothes. You got a print press in your house, you can make shirts. You got an oven in your house, you can bake cookies. It's a guy I know, his young wife used the oven in their house, bake and sell cookies, and have started a sweet treat business. Some of you pathetic Christians, y'all won't change. Y'all happy with nothing. Well, man, godliness with contentment is great gain. That's true. Godliness with contentment is great gain. I just don't, God don't want you to be poor and broken, po-mouthing and po-living. When your AC gotta go out in your house, you gotta take up a collection because you ain't standing on business. I understand a man fall on hard times, but come on, bro. Why does the Bible say a smart man leave an inheritance for his children's children? I ain't never met a man left an inheritance for his children's children. I ain't never seen it. I ain't never seen it. I ain't never seen a man leave an inheritance for his children's children. Me, the one I've known personally, I ain't never seen it. I will say one thing. My grandfather instilled it, work ethic in my father, and my father instilled it in me, and doggone it, I'm gonna put it in my daughter. If I can't leave y'all no doggone money, I'm gonna leave you generational work ethic. My first property already done. I'm about to pull up to my second one once I grab some ice. And next year you will never see me at an ice machine because I will have my own ice machine at the house. You little baby steps, baby steps, baby steps, baby steps.